next 2 to 3 years, we definitely will have very, very good, proper discoms available in the system with the reforms like content and carriage separation, franchisees, and whatever other things we are trying to implement in piecemeal. Discoms shouldn't make the existing assets stress. I mean, the ones who are working now very well should not go into stress, should be the focus which definitely we will try to keep under our eye also.
But our endeavor is to grow and now in the incremental, more on renewable than on thermal. Having said that, I think thermal is not going to be phased out. If we have to have this 24/7 power supply, we will have to rely on coal at least for 3 to 4 decades. And I think all of us knows in this room that in the last 4 or 5 years, hardly any investment would have started.
Financial weakness of the discoms, that is at the bottom of it all.
Right.
If that is somehow with a magic wand, it is removed, this factor, then things will look much better. Not only because they will start paying in time, but the suppressed demand that is there in the system, as you talked about, go out of Delhi for 2 hours and there's 18-hour power cut. I don't know if it is true, but if it is true, it is due to the structural weakness of the distribution companies. If they are in a better financial position, that suppressed demand will come into the net. Also, fresh demand will come about because people, if they are given reliable power, will start buying appliances and the general multiplier effect will take place.
In Indian power sector, the demand is always a function of the tariff. Okay. This is so-called, I don't believe in the system that, where your power surplus. If the power is cheaper, there's enough demand on that. We are the 4th largest generating country in the world, but we have 1/3 of the world average as our per capita consumption. So I think the renewables also picked up purely because the tariffs have come down.
I appreciate the ministry for doing this, that bringing back hydro into renewables rather than keeping them in conventional is going to have a far-reaching consequence because the stranded assets are now going to be relieved. I would request the ministry if a similar issue can be taken up with biomass and bagasse as well, especially biomass, because your entire scheme of Swachh Bharat and foreign investment and your pollution and it's a larger consequences that can be taken care of. So if we can have a more focused approach for biomass as well and encourage that in particular, is going to really help certain, at least the agricultural belt of the country as well as the urban waste that is being generated.
The counterparty risk, because this is the single largest risk in the sector, because once we handle the counterparty risk, all other risks to great extent get taken care of. And the counterparty risk, unfortunately, of course, a lot has happened because the Uday scheme and Uday scheme has brought down the gap between ACS and your average revenue realization from 50 paise to 28 paise, which is quite a distinct improvement from what it was there in past. But going forward, we would like to have a single-digit figure.
From the transmission industry perspective, what I believe is that we have to move towards a regime where transmission becomes affordable. I'm concerned that today we are not talking much about affordability of transmission system, but it will definitely become an issue in times to come. How can we make transmission more affordable? First thing is, what ministry is doing right is bringing a lot of competition in the building of transmission lines implemented. So a renewed focus on working with the state government and ensuring that the tariff-based competitive bidding is the only way the tariff transmission projects are built into the state is one of the things.